your dilemma here is that you're asking conservatives to make things. You're saying, guys, why aren't we making art? Well, it's because you're fucking conservatives. Okay, you have no vision for art. Like historically, the greatest minds, the greatest like artistic minds. I'm not even saying that like conservatives can't ever make art or even like good art. I struggle to, off the top of my head, to think of anything, but you know, I'm sure that there have been great artists that are like, you know, traditionally minded or whatever. They want like a return to tradition. But by and large, most artists are progressives because they have like you know, the progressive mindset allows for more creativity in the artistic process. You want to push the medium forward. You know, you want it to progress. Okay, that's
possible.
it.
If that is what you are called to do, if that is something you are capable of doing, you can do it.
That's why most art made by conservatives is like hearkening back. Like, do you remember? Do you remember? You know, that sort of thing. It's like the Turning Point halftime show. It's like Kid Rock, okay? Like, remember this? Remember this? Yeah. Well, you know, nobody wants to fucking listen to classic rock anymore. And if they do, they don't want to listen to new classic rock. They want to listen to Steely Dan or whatever.
You know.
Good morning, everybody. Just fucking spilled this all over myself. God damn it. Whatever. It'll dry. So, it is a sunny day in Tampa Bay, Florida. It's been an interesting couple days. God damn. The village idiot, the local racist in my Discord channel, has officially been untimed out, and he has been going nuts. But anyway, he wanted me to react to the Mike Huckabee interview with Tucker Carlson, but it does look interesting. Hassan already covered it. Yeah, I you know, not that fucking matters. But anyway, I was thinking about watching that, but actually Tom Foe has a new video, so that's what we're gonna look at right now. Let's go. Let's go. We love Tom Foe.
Now this is gonna be a crazy conversation.
Okay.
Very crazy. A lot of people are not gonna like some of the stuff I say in this video for sure.
Okay.
A lot of people are gonna disagree.
You say that every
and that's
time.
fine. People disagree with me all the time. But the fact of the matter is,
True.
when you think about America, when you think about the United States, a lot of people, they have this.
You say that, but like when I look in your comments, like people disagree with me all the time. Okay, when I say that, I mean like you look at any of my comment section, 100% of the comments are people disagreeing with me. And very rarely do any of my comment sections have a 1% of people that agree with me. Okay, but that's just kind of the way it is, being me. But let's look at the comments on this video. He's got 550 comments. Oh, the circus is satanic. The bread is human flesh. Yeah, it seems that like these are people that are agreeing with you. The circus is calling me racist. Yep. Yeah, bro. Yeah, all these people are so disagreeing with you. Okay, I'm looking at the top comments. Let's look at the newest comments. Let's see what they're saying. Okay. I need to see the newest comments. They infiltrated. We must root them out. Love our countries, Europe and USA to European. Blah, 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 blah. We will have been replaced. Yeah. This is just a ton of people that totally disagree with you. Trump 2028. Okay, that person might be that person might You might not really agree with
Now,
me,
this
but-
is going to be a crazy conversation. Very crazy. A lot of people are not going to like some of the stuff I say in this video for sure. A lot of people are going to disagree, and that's fine. People disagree with me all the time. But the fact of the matter is, when you think about America, when you think about the United States, a lot of people, they have this idea that our country is being taken over. You know, we're losing our country. And I've said this before, but we've already lost our country. And I'm sure a lot of you feel this way. Some of you have probably felt this way for a very long time, but it's just true. My last video I made, I talked about the Epstein files, and I said a lot of different things in that video, but one of the things I said was, you will never...
It's not that you lost the country, man. It's that the country was never for you. It was never for you. You are an average person, okay? You're just like everyone else. This country is for the rich people. Okay, they exploit us, they exploit the permanent immigrant underclass. Okay? That's what I keep telling you. Okay, that's what I keep
get
trying
any
to tell you.
true justice from these files being released. Even if they arrested 100 people, it wouldn't be enough. And they haven't arrested a single person. More than likely, they'll probably arrest one or two, maybe, at most. But you're never going to get complete justice. Not from this.
No, they won't arrest anyone. And I don't say that. I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't like being I'm just like you, Tomfo. Okay, I don't want to be pessimistic. Okay, but it is a fact that in America, if you have enough money, you can get away with anything. Okay, without any punishment whatsoever, at all. Excuse me. If you look at Europe, in Europe, they're actually kind of doing stuff. Okay, they arrested Prince Andrew for 12 hours. You can say that that's not enough. You're right, but it's something. It's something. You're not going to see that in America. Ever. Because in America, money can buy you anything. Money can buy you
because the
anything.
system protects a lot of the people who are in those files. And that's because your country is not your country any longer, and it hasn't been for a very long time. That's why you won't get justice for the Epstein files. Not even a week after I made that video, and they're coming out talking about how they're not going to release anything else, and yet I'm seeing reports of people saying they're going to release documents they have on aliens, and we're going to go to war with Iran. We're going to do all this other stuff but the Epstein files. And the reason is because nobody's ever going to be serious about it. But it's not even just the files. Look at your country. Look at what's going on. You're not getting any of the things that you would need. The economy is not getting better, yet every fucking day people are talking about how the Dow is over 50,000 and housing prices are more affordable than ever before, according to
There was really only like one person saying
inflation
that.
or whatever fucking metric they have to look at all this bullshit.
Chocolate Donut says, "Can I trust you with something personal?" Of course, man. Of course you can trust me. At the same time, you know, I am live streaming right now, so this isn't really... You're not telling me this in confidence. But yeah, you can tell me anything, man. I'll wait. I got a new headset, but I don't have Prime. Do you have it, and can I Zelle you the money? I feel like we've had this conversation before. Got a new headset. I don't have Prime. So like the shipping? But you already bought it. Okay, I don't think you can change the shipping after the fact. I do not have Amazon Prime. I don't order things on Amazon. My mom has Amazon Prime. I could ask her if I could send it to your address or something. I don't care. I don't know how it is now. No, I said I gotta get a new... Oh, I gotta get a new headset. Okay. Oh, my bad. I misread it. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I'll ask my mother. And you can send me the money. Hey, that'll work. You'll have to give me your address, though. Doesn't that kind of worry you? You don't even know me. Honestly, I trust you, but I feel like this is asking too much. Nah, it's fine. As long as it is a headset and not, you know, something inappropriate, perhaps.
Even though you know you go to the grocery store and shit's way more expensive than it should be. Even though you know it's right in your face, they're gonna lie to you and tell you that you're wrong. And that's part of the problem, just as much as the Epstein files. And there's a lot of issues that are going on in this country. White people are being replaced in America, in the West in general, but especially in America. They want to replace you with foreign workers through...
I mean, what exactly would someone want to do with a guy that's broke, LMAO? You talking about me? Hey, I'm broke I have friends. I'm rich in friends and family. Oh, I meant me, ho. The only thing you will be stealing is your time from wasting it. LOL, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like I'm wasting my time right now. Holy shit, this guy has gained like 5,000 subscribers in the last couple days. That's crazy. I wouldn't make fun of someone's financial status. I would. Hey, I'll make fun of anyone for anything. There's no boundary.
Illegal immigrants. You're not even getting deportations. They're gonna roll back on the deportations. You're not getting any of that. Right? You're not getting any of the stuff that you need as a countryman. Your politicians do not represent you. They do not care about you.
Yeah, you know, I like it how he lumps in fucking grocery prices with deportations. Like, yeah, bro. Yeah, deportations are gonna make my life so much better. So much more better than lowering grocery prices. Yeah, because apparently every other race doesn't matter but theirs, even though there's tons of countries that are predominantly white. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Like, if you want to be in a white country, then go to fucking England or some shit. Go to, I don't know, what's a white country? What's a white, you could even go to, like, South Africa, where all the white people are, like, kind of segregated and also wealthy, you know? Hey, go there.
You exist in a country that protects pedophiles and is actively replacing you with foreigners. That is the country you live in. That is not a country that is yours.
It's not all white. Apparently, there's a lot of Muslims there. Oh yeah, my mistake. I forgot about Londonistan. Yeah, my bad.
That's a country that's already been taken over. So how do you fix that? Well, you have to take it back. It's as simple as that. No amount of you voting for any Republican or Democrat or even independent, really, is going to completely change the path that we're on. And obviously, just so you guys know, I'm just a dude who makes videos. I'm not like some tactician, all right? I'm not a strategist. I'm not like some war general who, knows everything. This is just me talking. We're just having a conversation. And let's put a big emphasis on that for the FBI agents who are watching this video, all right? Don't worry, all right? We're not talking about how to actually take over the real United States of America. We're actually talking about strategies for how to take over America and the upcoming new Total War Warhammer 40K video game. So to all the FBI agents who are watching, it's not real America, it's America and Warhammer, right, guys? So to Cash Patel who's watching this, don't worry about it, bro. It's all good, man. It's like we're talking about video game stuff. And by the way, you guys don't want to watch this, you FBI agents, anyways, because this isn't even going to be the best strategies for the game. You know? Am I right, guys? Come on, go, back me up here. It's not even the best strategies. You don't want to watch this video. And Cash Patel, like, dude, you got better things to worry about. Dude, your girlfriend is doing her country singing career, and we all love her so much. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead, put it in the comments. We love Cash Patel's country singing girlfriend. Because who else is doing what she's doing in the game right now, bro? Nobody.
Like,
name one other country singer who's doing a country music tour as well as dating the head of the FBI. It's never been done before. Okay, so congratulations to you, Cash Patel. Don't worry, you don't got to watch this video. It's not serious whatsoever. We will take the watch, okay? We will see you in Valhalla, brother. And with that being said, all the FBI agents should be gone now so we can actually talk about the real shit. Now, before I talk about like these strategies, if you want to call them strategies or whatever, a lot of people are going to comment on this video and they're going to say, well, there's nothing you can do. We're already destined for failure. We're already destined for collapse, whether it's like a race war or a civil war or a French Revolution or all three of those things combined. That's where the country's.
You can procreate with more white children, date those white women that you always make fun of, except for fat white women. For some reason, skinny black men love fat white chicks. I'm not hating, it's the truth. LMAO, my old neighbor had a white girl that was like 400 pounds. Hey, more power to them, okay? Somebody's got to take one for the team, bro.
Headed. There's nothing you can do. There's no political tactics you could use. There's nothing you could do. There's no point in trying. And to that, you're kind of right. You're like half right, in my opinion. We are going in that direction. With the way things are now, this country is on a course for collapse. It's just 100% it is the case. So you're not wrong at all. And that is why you should be preparing. If you are physically able, you should be working out. You should be getting your endurance up. If you're able to get guns, you should be getting guns. If you're able to join a group, start preparing by collecting resources, food. If you're able to have land somewhere, like all of these things you guys already know. It's like, of course, duh. You should be doing that regardless. So this isn't me telling anybody to not do those things, to not prepare. Because ultimately, shit could hit the fan at any point in our lifetime. And whatever plan you have, whatever goal you have in your life can be turned upside down. This can be true on a total societal level. This could be just true on an individual level. Because that's just how life is. It's very unpredictable. So, of course, prepare, train. But this video is not about that. This video is talking about, well, until society collapses. Well, until those things happen, what can we do to potentially avoid that? Because I would say it's in your best fucking interest to not have all-out war in your country, all right? Because if that happens, I don't think anybody can.
Yeah, I want to prevent societal collapse. That's why I want to fucking, destroy the economy with deportations, with, violent racism, with, all in an effort to create an ethnically homogenous America. And I bet the guy right now that is saying this bullshit is single with no kids, but scared about white replacement. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, this is I mean, like many content creators, this is a person that, um, spent their 20s not building any skills, not like learning a trade, becoming educated. Instead, by his own account, he says that he like partied throughout his 20s. He had substance abuse issues, and now he is making racism content on YouTube and Rumble. So, yeah, this person is not like a model for by any means. Okay, even if you are like a black pilled chud, this person is not who you should model yourself after. What?
And actually correctly predict how chaotic that's going to be. I don't think people can predict how that's going to go. There's so many different groups. There's so much division in this country. There's so many factions at this point. If something just went all out, I think a lot of people are going to die. A lot of innocent people are going to die. I think it's going to be a lot of people that you're probably close to. And I don't know about you, but I personally give a shit about my family. And I love my family, and I don't want that to happen to them. So what are some things that we can do as American first patriots, people who are actually real Americans, not just fucking sellouts that have completely been bought and sold by Jewish oligarchs, donors, fucking Jews in general, fucking Israel, all these different people that have been bought and sold by whatever ideology that is not American, which unfortunately are the majority of our leaders, and really just the system as a whole. Doesn't matter who you put in there, they're gonna most of the time bend the knee to the system. So how do you get rid of that?
Hear me out, and I know this might be asinine, but from their perspective, why are they so anti-gay? Wouldn't they love gay people of color, since we can't procreate usually if they do adopt or via surrogacy? It's a white child. Because anything that isn't straight white, there is no benefit to it. You're trying to use like a logical train of thought from their position. Okay, but there is no logic in this. Okay, anything that isn't white, straight, is to be exterminated. It is degenerate. It is poisoning society. So gay white male is worse than a black person. It depends on the person, on the conservative that we're talking about, or like the chud, all right, the groiper, or equivalent. I mean, I would say it's mostly equivalent. Okay, at the end of the day, they're all going to the gas chamber. You know what I'm saying?
Fight against that truly. Well, there's a few things we can do. Now, before talking about any of it, I'm going to go ahead and say that famous quote: "He who saves his country does not violate any laws," or any law, Napoleon, whatever. And also at the same time, I'm going to say not all men are destined for the same path. I get a lot of people online who argue about these things, and they say, well, every guy should do this, or every guy should do that. And it's like, well, no, not every guy is capable of doing the same things as other men. Everybody has their own talents, their own skills. Men are destined for different areas in life. And we need to acknowledge that, and we need to tap into that. So those are the first two things I'll say. Now, what's the first strategy, the first thing that we should be doing? And it's something I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen other people talk about, and that is creating parallel societies in this nation. Not only in rural areas outside of cities, but in the cities themselves. And what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, it means people getting together, creating groups, like we talked about, whatever you want to call it, a militia, Minutemen, friend group, getting together, building a community. And this will evolve from just being a community into other things, starting businesses, gaining resources, obtaining land, all these different things. You might be in a position where you are able to do certain things other men just cannot. Some of you might be able to get land. Some of you might be in a position to where you have the skills necessary to start a business, and not only start a business, but actually run it successfully. So if you're doing that, why don't you get together with your friends and collaborate and build a community? And not only through starting businesses and obtaining resources, but also through community endeavors. Do you live in a town? Are there homeless people in your town? Are you helping them? Are you helping the less fortunate? Are you going to church?
So once again, Tom Foe is just giving advice that boils down to make friends with like-minded individuals. Like, yeah, no shit, man. That's actually my answer to the groiper problem too. Okay, yeah, you guys should just go be friends with people. Be friends with people. You will find people that at first you will think that they think just like you, but then you will find out that they are, they have different ideas from you, and you should listen to them. You should befriend people like that. Okay? All right, I'm gonna buy it. It's a $40 gaming headset on sale for $25, but without Prime, it'll be $42 when it arrives. That's not too bad. Sorry for being off topic. No, it's okay. It's okay. Me personally, I don't really buy gaming headsets, so I can't really say if that's like a good deal. I don't know all the ins and outs of the brands and whatnot. I only buy fucking Sony headphones. That's all I buy. Right now, I am currently wearing on my head the Sony Ultwear. which is like a bass boosted Bluetooth headset. Good idea. It doesn't have a microphone though. Well, I mean, it does have a microphone, but you can't really use it. Not only for phone calls. For some reason on these headsets, whenever you use the microphone for anything, the sound quality just plummets. I don't know why. So how do you talk to me when we played games? I have a separate microphone. Yeah. All right, back to this.
We talk about all the time, and I talk about this all the time personally, where churches have been completely taken over. All these mega churches, they're all fucking infiltrated by covert feminists, and they're all fucked up and heretical.
Oh, he's talking about the fucking... That's not even true. That's crazy. That's so fucking crazy. The mega churches? I mean, he's right. There are like woke gay churches, and I don't really like them that much either because they're fucking liberal. Okay, they're like classic, or they're neo-libs. Okay, I'm talking about the Unitarians. I'm talking about the Universalist Unitarians. Yeah, man. But the idea that like the woke have infiltrated the mega churches, are you insane? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Huh?
Cool. Well, maybe you're called to be somebody who preaches the gospel. Maybe you are somebody who is capable of doing that. Maybe you should start your own group. Maybe you should start your own church. Or maybe there is a church that just doesn't have a good community, but is really solid. You and your family, you and your friends, you should go there, grow there, come together, work together. And when you start these businesses, when you start doing these ventures, look out for each other. Help one another out. Hire your brothers. Hire your friends. If they need help, give them help. We got to start supporting our own communities. Every other minority group in America does this. Black groups do this. Hispanic groups do this. Indians do it all the fucking time. How do you think they're taking over Texas right now? It's like, yeah, are they getting help? And are they doing backdoor deals with Greg Abbott? Yes, they are. To essentially, take money from taxpayers in Texas. That is something they're doing. But what are they doing? All of these minority groups, they create their own parallel societies in major cities. Little India, Little China, all these different places. They go there, they commute there, they create businesses, they start obtaining resources, they build each other up, they look out for each other. White people are the only fucking people in this country who don't do that shit. And it's because you have been told that it's bad. Literally every other group does it. And you want to know one of the reasons why Jews are so powerful and they have a lot of shit going on? It's because they do it. That's what they do. They start their own businesses, they look out for one another. A lot of people say, well, that's nepotism, that's bad. You shouldn't do that. The only people who don't do it are white Americans. Every other group focuses on it and they're better for it. And then another thing we should do is hold ourselves accountable.
It's just not true. It's just not true. White Americans do this. Of course they do. What about Little Italy? What about them? You didn't bring them up. Are they not white? Are we going back to the like classic racism? Are we gonna say that Italians aren't white anymore? Okay, what about the German communities in Georgia? What about them? Are they white? Or once again, are we going back to the classic racism where we're gonna say that Germans aren't white anymore? I just like what do you even... Would you say that also white people find community in, like, outside of their whiteness? Okay, like Christianity. A lot of white people are Christians. And they join the churches that you were just talking about, the woke and gay churches. That is a community where people work together, they uplift each other. They take care of each other. They make sure that everybody in their congregation has what they need to get by. So... It's just not true. The idea that like white people don't do this, it isn't true.
Well, just because somebody is a part of your group, just because they're like you, doesn't mean you shouldn't hold them accountable. If they're a piece of shit.
It's never on the basis of their whiteness. It's never on the basis of their skin color. And the other races don't do this either. It's not on the basis of skin color. It's on the basis of ethnic background, if anything. That's it.
You call them out. We got to have a standard for ourselves, all right? It can't just be just because you're a part of the group, you get to just be dragged along. No, there's actually a certain level of responsibility that's going to come from everybody, and that's how parallel societies work. If you want more of an in-depth video on that, I highly recommend Jimmy Talk's video. He did a whole breakdown of parallel societies. Amazing. I'll put a picture up here. I'll put a link in the description for the video as well. Great video. But this is something we need to do. It's something people have already started, but it can't just be away from the cities. And I get that a lot. A lot of people, they're like, all right, we're going to do this, but we're going to leave. That's not the attitude we need. Now, if you're called to the countryside, if that's somewhere where you thrive and you love it out there, then more power to you. If you want your family to be there, your friends, go out there, build on the land, do all that stuff. Like, hell yeah, I completely support that idea. But completely abandoning the cities, you have to understand every time you do that, and I know why, because you go there and you're like, the city's already fucked. It's already completely trashed. There's no point. It's already lost. We need to leave. And that's this mentality I keep seeing. It's not just for cities. It eventually evolves from that and becomes entire states. The state is lost. We need to leave. And then eventually we do. And then what happens? You lose it. It's gone. And then eventually the people that ruin those cities and ruin those states, what do? They leave. And where do they go?
I was informed that a woman can birth up to 25 children. Imagine if 1 million white people did that 25 times. Problem solved. Yeah, man. So women can actually have a lot more than 25 children, in theory. And in fact, I think the record for like most children that one woman, birthed was like over 70 or some shit. I could be, don't quote me on it, okay? Don't quote me on it. But, technically a woman can have as many children as she has eggs. And she has a lot of eggs, okay? Excuse me. But most women, actually all women, don't use most of their eggs. They have a menstrual cycle where they
go where you go,
eject
and then
the
it continues. We can't keep abandoning these places, these cities, these places. This is where you can gain power, and that's honestly what we need. Call it what you will. If you want to call money fake, if you want to call it, oh, well, it's all bullshit anyways, it doesn't matter. Resources are resources. You need them. We need them. Americans need them. You're being betrayed by your own leaders. They are selling your resources to other people, and it's making you...
Yeah, I mean, money itself isn't fake. Money in our society is fake because it's indebted, it's borrowed, okay? We as a society, we borrow against our assets, okay? And the rich people are doing, we do this too, but the rich people are doing this on a much larger scale, okay? Where you spend money given to you based on assets, but the money itself isn't real. The bank is just like loaning you the money, but it's backed by nothing. It's not backed by anything, okay? It's backed by the belief that not everybody is going to try to withdraw all of their money at the same time. Okay, that's what it is.
So don't abandon the cities, don't abandon the states, because it will come for you eventually. I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, but that's just the truth. We have to make a stand, and we can do that. Is it going to be a lot more controversial than if another group does it? Sure, but it's going to be controversial regardless. It's going to be hard regardless. There's nothing you can do at this point that's not going to be difficult. So the parallel societies, that's something we need to focus on. That's something we need to start doing. And it doesn't have to be a business. If that's not something you can do, realistically, it can just be a friend group. It can just be a church. It could just be a community, that you help create or you become a part of, to where you guys help each other and you help the less fortunate, whatever. It doesn't have to be starting a company or any of these other things. Like, sure, that would help. But no, do what you can. That's kind of the point. That's kind of the goal. And any bit that you contribute to, anything you do, is going to help. We will be better for it. Trust me. But a part of the parallel societies is it's not just, groups and businesses and communities, but it's also constructing networks for communication, underground networks. And a part of, building, this is the next strategy, which is building our own institutions and supporting those. This includes not just like regular businesses, but also media. This includes journals like Arctos Journal, which is a great place. They have a Substack where they have a bunch of writers that publish different things on there, and they also publish books. Like, how many of you read? How many of you are not only reading, but are you supporting dissident right authors?
I hate reading. I don't like reading, bro. I don't want to do all that. I like pictures. I like looking at pictures.
Which, by the way, most literature nowadays fucking sucks. The majority of it is literally just feminist smut that women are gooning to. That's like what the majority of books are nowadays. But there are other books. There are writers, modern writers, people that think just like you and I, and they're coming out with books all the time. They're publishing things all the time. Start supporting them. Start buying their literature. Start reading what they're writing. Start checking out their X accounts, following them. It doesn't have to be from a money standpoint to where you're constantly, paying people for stuff. It can just be from liking videos, watching YouTube, like what you're doing with me. You watch my videos, you like my videos, you comment on my stuff. A lot of y'all share it. You guys go, you follow me on Rumble, which is awesome. Thank you so much. You go, you follow me on X. That matters. That does a lot. It really does, but we should be supporting the people who are trying to build our own institutions, whether it's through literature and especially art. This is one of the things I don't see nearly enough people talking about when it comes to institutions in general. Movies, film, music, video games to a pretty big extent. These are institutions. Art is extremely important. What art does is it represents a society. When you see a society that makes great things, whether it's they construct amazing architecture, they build cathedrals, the aesthetics of that society, the art of that society, that's honestly what kind of becomes immortalized. When people think of Rome, are there like autistic nerds that think about the politics and think about like how a lot of the families back then had like face clay molds of their ancestors in their bedrooms? Yeah, do they think and talk about that shit? Yeah, sure. But when most people think of Rome, when they think of these earlier societies, what do they think of? They think of the monuments. They think of the art. They think of the statues. They think of the Colosseum. That's what they think of. The aesthetic, the art of these places. That's what lasts. And what good are we if we can't produce our own art? We have to be able to do that, and we have to support those of us who are capable of doing so. But not like from a point of delusion. This is something I see too. There are a lot of people who want to do art, and it's just not their thing. And I'm not trying to shit on your parade. It's just like, bro, if you're out here and if you're making music like Tom McDonald or whatever, like, go fuck yourself, bro. Just stop, please. That shit's trash. I mean, that doesn't even represent us. Like, that shit's gay. Like, no, none of us fucking like that shit anyways. But I'm just talking about when it comes to people and they're like, I should make music. It's like, if you're not good,
the worst
please stop.
person
Or at least
you know
if you're not
just
good
made a good
singing,
take.
then maybe just do guitar or something. Like, maybe just find an avenue of that you can be good at, because we don't want to just promote and support people just because they're doing something. We want the best. We want the people that are capable of creating creating things. We want the best of writers because there's a lot of us. I meet them all the time, dude. I meet people all the time that are amazing at arts. They're amazing animators. They're really good at editing. We should be supporting those people. And when it comes to stuff like video games and movies, it's like, yeah, will you be able to produce Hollywood level action blockbusters automatically? No, you can't do that. But you can't tell me in this day and age, somebody who is capable of creating a movie, they can do it. There are people who are making amazing short films or even just amazing movies in general on budgets that are like less than a used car. It is.
Yeah, bro, people can make things. People be making things. Your dilemma here is that you're asking conservatives to make things. You're saying, guys, why aren't we making art? Well, it's because you're fucking conservatives. Okay, you have no vision for art. Like historically, the greatest minds, the greatest like artistic minds. I'm not even saying that like conservatives can't ever make art or even like good art. I struggle to, off the top of my head, to think of anything, but you know, I'm sure that there have been great artists that are like, you know, traditionally minded or whatever. They want like a return to tradition. But by and large, most artists are progressives because they have like you know, the progressive mindset allows for more creativity in the artistic process. You want to push the medium forward. You know, you want it to progress. Okay, that's
possible.
it.
If that is what you are called to do, if that is something you are capable of doing, you can do it.
That's why most art made by conservatives is like hearkening back. Like, do you remember? You know, that sort of thing. It's like the Turning Point halftime show. It's like Kid Rock, okay? Like, remember this? Yeah. Well, you know, nobody wants to fucking listen to classic rock anymore. And if they do, they don't want to listen to new classic rock. They want to listen to Steely Dan or whatever.
You know, you can make great art. You can make great movies. People, you know, you see all these indie developers making video games, and they're awesome, and they do it on basically no budget. Get creative. We need to start supporting those of us who can contribute in that way, not just from the business standpoint, not just from the people who are religious, not just from the people who are good at organizing, but the artists, the writers. We need to have a culture that says something, not just a culture that relies on our heritage, but a new culture, a great culture. We need to prove to the world that we are capable of making new things that are great, not just saying, oh, hey, our ancestors did this one.
Okay, unironically, the point that he's making here is true, and it's a good point. It's just that the solution that he thinks there is no solution. There's no solution for you, bro. Like, this is just the way it is. Okay, this is how it, like, you're not going to get conservatives to make excellent art in the same way that progressives do. Okay, for reasons that I just explained. But it is a very good point that the cultural output of the conservative movement in America is extremely lacking. Okay, and it has never been more obvious than it is now. Okay, because of like the Super Bowl halftime show and shit like that.
Once. Now, we should be proud of our ancestors and our history, of course, but don't let that blind you from what's possible. What are we capable of doing in the future? And that's part of it, building our own institutions. But like I said, we can't be supporting those who are just not good at it. Like, you have to have that talent in you. You have to have the skill, if anything. And also, we can't just be supporting any institution. I've seen a lot of people talk about like education. They talk about school, and they're like, well, we can create our own university. We can create our own schools. And they make some like online course, and 99% of the time, it always turns out to be fucking scams. The people who are on our side of the aisle who are doing this fucking bullshit, we need to start calling them out.
Wait, what? Oh man! Oh wait, Hustlers University.
If you're scamming people on some retarded bullshit, bro, get the fuck out of here. We don't want anything to do with you. Okay, we don't want you to be making some scam courses, because making an online university, making an online education system, that is actually very much possible. But every time I see somebody try to do it, it's just some fucking get rich quick bullshit. We need to start saying no to that. All right, and it comes from all ideologies, of course, but it's like it is coming from ours as well. I'm sure you've seen it as much as I have. But that's the second strategy. Not only building our own parallel system.
Okay, there's a major hurdle in front of you for this, bro. Okay, there's a reason that all of the like conservative online education services, they're all scams. Okay, this is because liberal university institutions, right, the reason that they are progressive, or at least more progressive than like where the average American's mind is at, is because the higher you go up in education, right? The more educated you become, the more likely you are to be woke-tarded. Okay, that's how it works. So like I don't make the rules. Okay, I'm just the messenger. This is how it works. Okay, the more educated you become, the more woke-tarded you become. And what you guys say is that this is conspiracy. This is like propaganda. Not really. Like, people, they go to university and they study, they learn to read and critically reason, decipher statistics and whatnot, understand them within their field, and they can apply this same reasoning to their political worldview. Okay, that's why this happens. Okay, or that's my theory anyway. So, highly educated people, more woke. Okay, less educated people, not so woke. The thing is, people who are not woke, people who are Republican, people who are conservative, they don't really want to pursue higher education. Okay, they want to build, they want to do blue collar work, construction, plumbing, and those are very respectable fields. Okay, like those are very respectable choices, right, for a person to make. So it's not like we want to get rid of that. Like, we need people in our society who are highly educated. We also need people to do blue collar work. Okay, and probably over time there will be even more demand for blue collar work because these are jobs that are more difficult to automate. Okay, people who take on bureaucratic roles, right? Typically people who are highly educated, they work with spreadsheets, they work in an office. These jobs are going to be eliminated. So, like, you don't really need to create these, like, higher learning alternative institutions that you've dreamed up in your mind. You don't need that shit. Okay, what we need is a more robust, consistent education system. By consistent, I mean it churns out a more consistent worker, right, and a more consistently educated person. We need to focus on that, and not so much making the bullshit fucking anti-woke institutions of higher learning. Okay, no, we don't need that. We need more robust systems for creating blue collar workers, more so than we already have. And I'm not saying online education isn't the way to go for that. But ideally, since these are jobs where people work with their hands, they manipulate materials, right, with their hands. That's more of like you need an in-person training sort of thing. And actually, I really think that instead of the direction that we've been going in with the education side of blue collar work, we could really do with going back to the apprenticeship kind of thing. Okay, where instead of people taking courses, right, to become a welder, to become a plumber, and things of that nature, we could go back to the older style of people being mentored by somebody who's been doing the job for 10, 20, 30 years. That's how they used to do it. But the thing about that is it's harder to extract money from people. Do you understand? You don't pay for a course. You hang out with Hank the plumber for 8 hours a day for a few weeks and learn the ropes. So it's harder to extract profit in that way. And I think that's why we stopped doing it like that, okay? Because the rich people wanted more money. Tale as old as time. Anyway, let's
societies, but our own institutions. But what happens when we try to do these things? What happens when you exist in a system, in a country that doesn't like you, is trying to essentially ethnically cleanse you from your own country? And what happens when you try to build something? What happens when you try to build your own system within that country? Well, they start attacking you. We see this all the time. People on our side, they start getting sued, whether by, some private entity or the state. They start getting sent, threats, death threats.
Okay, well, yeah, well, that's because they keep doing illegal shit. Like, what are you talking about? You were just saying that, like, these alternative institutions are scams. And then you're like, why don't people do it? Well, it's because they keep getting sued. Well, yeah, they're getting sued because they're scams. They're scamming people. What?
All these different things, cops start showing up at their front door out of nowhere. We've seen people get harassed for like the craziest shit. And it's because ultimately when you try to build things, institutions that go against the system you are currently in, the system tries to kill you. And eventually you'll see with some of these groups, they get sued. And they're not going to get sued once. They're going to get sued over and over again. And they have to win every single time. But the government or the entities or the groups that are suing them, they just have to win once. And then there you go. The system they're trying to build, the institution they're trying to start, it falls apart. And if you don't start listening to the government after that point, what happens? Where does that road lead? It leads to men showing up on your property with guns. And then you have two options. You either comply or you get into a shootout. And no matter how cool you might think the shootout is going to be, no matter how glorious your final moment might be, chances are you're going to die. And more than likely, chances are if you have a family, your kids are going to be dead too. As well as your wife. And everything you're trying to build, everything you're trying to create is gone. Some people would say, well, it matters. That will create like a symbol or it will mean something to somebody else. Who cares? You're dead. So how do we prevent this? How do you prevent a system from doing this, from constantly attacking you? Well, you can't. But there are certain things you can do to help give you leverage. There are certain things you can do that can help you gain power. Because that's what this is. It's all about power. It's all about leverage. The fact is, we don't have a lot of power. And our enemies have all the power. That's why when you see something like the Epstein files, nothing ever happens. Because the people who hold the cards and the power, they say no. No matter how much you want to bitch and scream and complain about it, nothing will happen. Nothing that matters, nothing good for you. So how do you gain power? How do you gain leverage? And this is the part that's going to be pretty controversial. A lot of the stuff I've talked about, I'm pretty sure most of you have already agreed with. You're like, Tom, I've heard this shit a billion times. It's like, yeah, well, this is the part where a lot of people are going to start disagreeing. And that is, you have to start playing by a different set of rules. You have to start playing a different game. The game you think life is, the way you think America works, the systems, that's not what it is. And the game you play leads to you losing because it is made for you to lose. So how do you win against this? Well, you don't play that game. You play a different game. You don't play by the rules. You break rules. You start doing things that your enemy does. And a big part of that is you start infiltrating their institutions. How do you do that? Well, a big part of it is you start lying. And you
here we go. We change the system from the inside. Yep. Yeah, just lie, bro. Just lie, and then change the system from the inside. This is like the same kind of cope. That it's a very similar kind of cope to like in the ashes of society after the collapse. My ideology will rise from the ashes like a phoenix.
Starts hiding your power level. If you are capable of infiltrating these institutions, whether it is the educational system, whether it's media, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's politics, if you're able to do that, I'm not going to lie, it would be in your best interest and the interest of all of us. You need to hide your power level. You need to go to work and you need to lie to these people. You need to lie to their faces. You need to make them think you're one of them because that's what they did. How do you think they infiltrated our education systems, all these different institutions? How do you think they took those over and started subverting them? Because of espionage, because of secrecy. Remember at the beginning of the video, or at least before we started talking about the strategies, and I mentioned not all men are destined for the same path. Some men are capable of doing different things than others. Not every guy is the type of dude that should be training and learning how to shoot a gun and joining a Minutemen militia. Not everybody's a warrior. Not everybody's a businessman. Not everybody's an artist. Some people, they're good at politics. Some people, they're capable of getting into media. Some people are capable of getting into Hollywood. And this is the problem that I see a lot of people having with this, is they say, well, it's impossible. You can't infiltrate these societies. You can't infiltrate these groups, Tom. It's not possible. And yet, it's already happened. A lot of you know this already. I'm a groiper. And people have told groipers time and time again, it's not possible to infiltrate any of these groups. And yet, last year, before the end of the year, politicians, conservatives, and some Democrats started shitting themselves because they realized that a big portion of their younger employees in the campaign offices, working for different politicians, working in media, a lot more than you would think, and not just men, women too, they're groipers. They are not Republican. They are not Democrat. They lie and they say they are, but they are radical, and they are on our side, and they've already infiltrated them. They were literally shitting themselves last year because of this. And by the end of this year, it's going to be way more. I think in conservative groups, they were saying like it's estimated like 30%. I guarantee you by the end of this year, it's going to be over 50. We've already infiltrated those groups. And then after that, you get people bitching and complaining and ankle biting like little fat, and they're saying, oh, well, you guys infiltrated, but you can't do anything. You don't have any power, man. You can't do anything once you get in. So first it was we couldn't get in, then we got in, and then now it's you can't do anything. Bro, nothing fucking pisses me off more when I see some white fat online talking about how, oh, it's still over, bro. There's nothing we can do, man. Dude, they own all the cards. We've already lost. And it's like, bro, dude, how are you just underestimating yourself so much? It's so pathetic. Like, at first it was sad, and I was like sad, but now at this point, I'm actually like disgusted. I look at you and I see you as less. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just being honest. It's like, how can you underestimate yourself, or at the very least, your brothers, your sons, and think that they're not capable of doing things. Dude, our ancestors have lived through worse. Our ancestors have gone through worse. Dude, you can't fucking tell me they haven't. What is this mentality, this defeatism, bro? Get this fucking gay shit out of here, bro. Kick that shit out of your fucking mind. Because you know what's the problem with all of this stuff? We talk about all these strategies. The main problem we have is that we don't support one another. That's the main fucking issue. I'm not telling you not to do what you want to do. I support you. If it is you actively training, working out, gaining resources, obtaining like silver, gold, if you're actively trying to do things to make your life better, your family's life better, and if you're willing to support others that are trying to do the same thing, that's the first step. And really, to be honest, that's the main thing that we need, is that support. But I don't see that when it comes to the infiltration of these institutions. They say it's impossible. And yet people are talking about all the time how pretty much every white dude who's in an Ivy League school who isn't a fucking Jew is a groyper or is dissident right. Now, obviously, they don't say that out loud. They hide their power level, but that's the point. So how do you prevent the system from attacking you? You know how we talked about that earlier? You have people gain power in the media. You have people become lawyers. All these groups trying to start.
Well, what about me, bro? What about me? Am I Jewish? I guess he did say people that go to Ivy League schools. Yeah. I just, you know, like, keep in mind that the Bolshevik Jew theory, it was started by the Nazis to combat the Nazbols. Okay, the Nazbols being the National Bolsheviks of Weimar Germany. Okay, so it was literally like a way to smear them because they were anti-Semitic as well. Okay, everybody was anti-Semitic. It was Weimar Germany. Okay, and anyway, like, they're still saying this shit today. They're still saying like all the communists are secret Jews, and you know, you're a communist if I say you are, and you're also Jewish because of it. And it's like, well, I thought we were doing marketplace of ideas, bro. What
their own
is
thing,
this
return
shit?
to the land. They're getting sued. They're going to constantly be getting sued. You need people that are lawyers. You need doctors. How many times do I see you fuckers complaining about how you went to a doctor and he was Indian and you didn't want him because they're like, fuck, that guy's Indian. And then you see a smart young white American man who's like, I want to go and become a doctor, and you guys are gonna shit on him for that? I don't want to fucking see you complaining about Indians being doctors then. If you're gonna be bitching and ankle biting like a little like that, I don't want to see any of that. None of that. Do you see where I'm getting? You need people in these places, not only to give us more power, give us more leverage, but to help you, to help your family, and to start subverting these institutions. It happened once. We can do it. If you're thinking that we're unable, we're not capable of doing this, ye of little faith, have more confidence in yourself. How about that? Have more confidence in your own kind. How about that? What happened to white excellence? What happened to America First excellence and all these different things? You should be supporting these people, not bitching at them because they don't want to fucking move out into the woods with you. Turns out a lot of us don't want to fucking live in the woods, and I'm one of them. I like living in the city. I do. A lot of us do. You're not convincing us anyways, so you might as well support us. And in doing so, if we do succeed, and yeah, are the chances slim? Of course, they're slim either way, so what the fuck? But if we do succeed, and even if it's only a few of us, that matters. That fucking means something. And that's the point of all of this. Like, why do I care so much about this shit? Because I want to win. And I do believe it is a possibility for us to subvert these institutions. At the very least, maybe fuck them up a little bit from the inside, to where they start becoming disorganized, discombobulated, and now they can't function properly. So to attack you, they can't even do that right. I know it's a stretch, it's a long shot, whatever, but it's like, come on, dude. Like, why can't we be all on the same page? It's like, yeah, we have our differences, we have disagreements, but if you see somebody who's trying to go for the Ivy League school, who's capable of doing that, who's actually smart enough to become a doctor, you know how fucking smart you have to be to become a doctor and not fucking suck ass at it? To actually be good? That's like a top 10% right there.
Yo,
you should want them to do those
working.
things. You should be supportive. So with the infiltrating the institutions, this isn't going to be a majority of us. This is going to be a very small group of people, and they should lie.
Penguin
And they should
strat.
trick these people. They should hide their power level. Don't be out and showing your face and talking about your beliefs. No. You do that, the system comes for your ass. You don't want that. We need to gain as much power as possible, not only to support our own institutions, but to subvert theirs and at the very least, destroy them. And we have to use tactics that our enemies have used against us. And by doing this, we will control more leverage. And yes, we can subvert these institutions in our favor. And don't be an ankle-biting bitch. Just so you know, if you're going to be an ankle-biting bitch who's just going to complain about everything, eventually when we do win, and, you know, 100 years from now when they start writing history books about the time that we live in, because, dude, what a fucking time to be alive. Think about it. A lot of these people are dooming, and they're complaining. They're like, oh, dude, all hope is lost. Motherfucker, no, this is the moment, bro. You've seen that picture of, like, the dude with the sword, and he sees a fucking giant in front of him, and it's like, yeah, he's gonna fucking fight this thing, dude. That's the moment we're in. We are in the David and Goliath moment, brother. This is it. Stop fucking being sad and start being confident. The history books are going to talk about us. They're going to talk about this moment in time, in this period that we're in. And just so you know, all the ankle-biting bitches that are out there, there's going to be a part of the history books, and you're going to be in it. And that's all you're going to be known as. You're going to be known as the cuck bitches who complained and did nothing, and you will be dishonored for all of history. That's what you're going to be known as. So if you want to be that, by all means, be a doomer, be a fucking loser. I don't want you on our team, bro. Like, fucking get out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. I want the people who are about it. All right? So don't do that. Don't complain. Don't ankle bite. Don't bitch. And moving on. I know I got carried away there, but that part's very important, dude. I have to emphasize that because that's the thing I see most people complain about all the time online is that. And it's honestly, like, it just pisses me off. It's just annoying. But this is the next strategy, and this is the one we definitely need to use. And this is the one we kind of already have been using. And that is propaganda. We need to start using this to its full potential to influence the masses, because unfortunately, most people, when they think that they have their own opinions when it comes to politics, they don't. They don't have their own opinions whatsoever. They are being completely engineered. And with that propaganda, they get used in ways that essentially have destroyed their family, have destroyed their future. And we need to start using this. Propaganda is a powerful tool. And a lot of people, when they hear that, they think it's a bad thing. They hear propaganda and they think, oh, that's ugly, that's evil. Dude, everybody uses propaganda. I don't care what political ideology you have, what your alignment is, what your religion is.
True.
Every single fucking group in the world that is in the game right now uses propaganda. That is just the case. Most people are retarded as fuck and they cannot think for themselves. So we need to start thinking for them. We do. And it works. You see it all the time. Propaganda can be as simple as just like a hype edit on TikTok. That 14-year-old sees that hype edit on Instagram of that Austrian painter, and now his entire fucking worldview changes. You know, guys will see a hype edit of Tyler Durden from Fight Club and their entire persona changes. They'll see fucking hype edits of Ryan Gosling, and then they'll be like, that's me. That's literally me. It works. And we need to stop being afraid.
Yeah,
and we need to just start using it. It is.
Yeah. Look, what he's saying here is true. It's true. I like pausing him when I agree with him. Okay. I don't agree with him very much. So, but he's right. You know, propaganda is used by all sides at every angle, and it's important. But it doesn't mean that people are stupid. Okay, people aren't stupid. People seem stupid in our society because they're uneducated. Because our education system has been systematically dismantled over the last 40 years. But people aren't dumb, they're not stupid. Actually, on the contrary, they are not that. People are, you know, it's actually, he's saying this, okay, he's right about propaganda. It's just that it's actually harder to get it to work on people these days, I think, because, you have the dismantling of our education, and that helps, okay, because it's harder for people to spot propaganda when they see it. But we also live in what these people like to call a low-trust society. Okay, so what I mean by that is like when somebody clicks on one of my videos, they are probably immediately, automatically, looking for reasons that I am being disingenuous, that I am, not trustworthy, right? I'm a low-trust individual. And I think that's the way it is for everybody. I think it's an uphill battle to make a connection with someone online through content, right, through propaganda. And that's kind of the trend that we're seeing. But in general, it is still more difficult for people to decipher what is propaganda and what isn't, because the education isn't there anymore.
Is a tool that can actually awaken people and save America. That is honestly the most powerful thing we do have, because memes, the hype edits, all these different things, that's just one part of it. But this can win. This can win the minds of a population. This can control the minds of a population. And I know that might sound nefarious to a lot of people. They don't like me saying that, but that's just the case. People cannot think for themselves. So what are you going to do? You're just not going to participate in it? You're just going to say, oh, well, I'm morally against this, so I'm going to let all my enemies do it, and I'm going to fucking lose, because it convinces the masses of one thing that's complete bullshit, and then I'm going to lose to it because I don't want to participate in that? Shut the fuck up, bro. Get the fuck out of here. No. We're going to go full propaganda, dude. We talk about all the time how most people are retarded as hell and they can't think for themselves. So where does that go? It doesn't end there. Let's start thinking for them. Let's start influencing them, at least, because people will be controlled no matter what. The idea that all Americans think for themselves is a lie, and they will be controlled regardless, so it might as well be us. And with all these things we've talked about, with all this stuff we've discussed here, you just have to know, I'm not here to play fair. I'm here to win. I'm not here to follow rules. I'm here to win. Life is never fair, and the only ones...
These conservatives are like, these like... anti-establishment conservative Groyper types are always just like usually at least a couple years behind, and it's like, yeah, bro, everything is propaganda. We've moved past this already. Okay, like we know. Okay, you guys are like playing catch up. As per usual. Who
try to tell you that obeying these types of rules will make your life better are lying to you. They are using your better moral structure to kill your family and rape their corpses. That is the situation we are in, because we don't have a future where it stands. Where the way things are going, we don't. So we need to start fighting in all the ways that we can possibly do that. And with all this stuff I talked about today, a lot of you guys are going to listen to it. You're probably going to think, oh, that's nothing. That's not going to work. That's not possible. If we literally did half of the shit that I talked about today, literally just half, you would turn this country around in like a generation. Don't think that any of this is going to turn around to where you're going to have a perfect life for you. No, for the majority of us, especially Gen Z and millennials, we don't get that perfect life. We don't get that beautiful, amazing America. That's not possible for us. The short-term thinking, get that fucking bullshit out of your head. We need to start thinking long-term. We need to start strategizing long-term. What tactics can we employ that in the bigger picture, the grand scheme of things, will lead to a victory, will lead to us winning this nation back? That's what we need to start doing. And if we did half of this shit that I've talked about today, creating parallel societies, creating our own institutions, supporting those of us who are doing those things, and then the ones who are capable, infiltrating the institutions that exist today, subverting them, leveraging power against them to protect our own, and then also using propaganda to sway the masses. If we did half of that shit, half of it, we would have an insane fighting chance. And that's why I see all these people who doom and they black pill, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Shit is dire. It's bad. And we talk about, well, what are actual solutions we can do? What are actual things we can do? And we have to stop thinking about this from an individual perspective. We have to start thinking about it from a collective, from an actual group standpoint. What can we do as American first, white Americans, Christians? What can we do? What can you do to contribute? Maybe you can start a business. Maybe you are good enough to get into an Ivy League school. Maybe you are good enough at doing social media. Maybe you are good enough at supporting a church or doing charity work. Maybe you can make music. Maybe you can't do most of that. Whatever you can do, do it. That's like the main thing. It's like if we all just supported each other to a certain degree, it doesn't mean we can't fight, because we will. It doesn't mean we can't have disagreements, because we will have disagreements. That's not the point. The point is we all contribute. The point is we all kind of put our fucking game faces on and we start taking the shit a little bit more serious. Ask yourself, what can you do? Well, what am I doing? The best thing I can do right now is make these videos. Is it a lot? Maybe not. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just whatever. But it's the best thing I can do now, and I dedicate a lot of my time to this. What can you do? Literally ask, what can you do? Don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. What can you do for your country? What can you do to win it back? Simple as, man. If we changed our perspective on these things, and I understand not all of us can do that, but if the ones who are capable, especially the leaders are the ones who really have to kind of get this understanding. Not everyone, because not everyone's a leader, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Don't be upset if you're not a leader type individual. Don't be upset at that. That's just the way life is. But the leaders, the people who are going to make decisions, the people who are going to create things, they need to be the ones that have this mentality, this perspective, this game face. And if we do that, man, I'm telling you, bro, we can turn shit around. We can take this country back. We can subvert these institutions. We talked about earlier about the Epstein files. You want to talk about justice? You want to talk about taking control of this country back from all these fucking Jewish oligarchs, all these donors, all these different people, all these lobbyists? You want to have a country that isn't constantly getting into wars for Israel? You want to have a country that isn't actively trying to fucking replace you? Demographically, you want that? Okay, fight for it. And you can't just do it with violence. I see a lot of people that say that and they think that. It's like, no, you need to have another type of fight in you. And this is it. Now, is this the most foolproof plan ever conceived? Ever? No, it isn't. But it's a start. And maybe someone who's watching this video, maybe you're one of those people to where you are in a position to where you can do one of these things. And if you're not, support the ones that can. It's as simple as, I'm telling you, man, if we fucking try, we can do it. I know we can. I believe in us. God is on our side. But you can't let God do all the work. Sometimes, most of the time actually, you have to be an instrument of God's plan. That's literally the whole purpose of your life, is to be that, to whatever degree that is. So it's time for us to stop bitching. It's time for us to stop complaining. Obviously, people are still going to do that, but the real niggas, the real people, come on. It's time for us to get serious. It's time for us to do what we are capable of doing. And if we work together, we will create beautiful things. We can create a future for our children, a future that actually is prosperous, a future that is a country, a nation for them, a future that celebrates their heritage, their culture, a future that creates more heritage, more traditions, beautiful things, amazing things, glorious things, cathedrals. We should be building great cities. We should be building monuments. Why? Because that's what it means to be human. It means to make great things. We've done it before. Our ancestors have done it before. So fuck it. Let's do it again. But to do that, we have to take control. And that's pretty much it. In closing, I'm just going to say, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate your brothers. Don't underestimate what we and what you are capable of doing. You need to conquer that fear. You need to get rid of it. In doing that, it's going to make your life better completely. So we can win. God is on our side, and through him, all things are possible. The future is going to be great. I don't know about you. Bro. I'm fucking pumped. I'm fucking excited that I get to live here and now. I fucking love the fact that this is what I get to do. Because I want to create a society where these fucking pedophiles that are running all this shit, I want to fucking see them hanging, dude. I want that to happen. But we're not going to get that with the way things are. We're not going to get that in the current system. We need to take it over. We need to take it back. Our forefathers would have wanted us to do this. So let's do it. But that's it. I'm going to end it there. But guys, let me know what you think. If you agree, if you disagree, if you have anything to add to what I was talking.
You are on the conservative side, right? You guys are the champions of the Second Amendment. How do you think we're gonna get them swinging from the ropes? You think that the police are gonna do it? You think that they're gonna arrest them and try them, and then the courts are gonna find them guilty? Come on now. I'm just saying, bro. My advocacy looks very different from yours because of the side of the aisle that I'm on. Right? We don't really, on the left, we don't really got all the guns in this country. We're working on it. Okay, we're working on changing that. But we don't got the people with the guns. You got the people with the guns, bro. That's what